Why don't you just, you know, just right out there to that camera, Michelle, and say what you want to say.
I just want to tell my mom and I love her and I need her.
Well, in a little while, we would find out, because Rick came to the show with his sister, Michelle, to make a plea to find their mother. He had no idea we had already found her. As she stood backstage, he got the surprise of his life when we reunited Michelle with their mom, Kishna. When he heard the reunion, he burst into tears. He was only 3 years old when he was torn away from his mother, and he was shocked that he was about to meet her. Neither Rick nor Kishna had a clue that they would be brought together again.
My name is Ricky Mills, a retired Special Forces officer and the host of Wild Jaeger Outdoor TV. As a Green Beret, my job was to infiltrate into foreign countries by land, sea, or air.
Thank you all very much. You know, we have a really special show today. Once again, we decided to take our cameras out of the studio into the lives of some of our viewers. They wanted us to reunite them with the mother that they never knew. Michelle wrote us because she had not seen her mother in over 20 years. It was her dream to find her mother, and she wanted our help to make her dream come true. We reunited them, actually, 4 days ago, and you'll see in a few minutes how we caught Michelle off guard. But first, Michelle is here. And how does it feel, finally, to have your mom back in your life?
It's great. It's like the pieces back in there.
Yeah. You were adopted out. Mm-hmm. Because, according to what my producers have told me, because you cried too much when you were separated from your mother.
Yeah. I had just recently found out that that's why, because of the separation from Mom. But I just thought, I was told so many stories and so many different lies that I thought that I was just a bad kid and nobody wanted me.
Now, the way we set it up was you had come to the studio and to our show in an effort to make a plea to find your mom. And you didn't know that we had found her. Were you nervous?
Very. I had a clue that you found her.
You did?
Yeah.
How did we give you a clue?
I've been watching you for almost 5 years now.
Oh, I see, I see, I see. So you figured that if I brought you up here to New York City, oh, God, well, we have to change our arrangements and I have to do things differently.
I mean, I watch you every day. Okay. I think I've missed like 5 shows, okay. And I just knew.
All right, okay. Well, then let's get to it, all right? Here is Michelle's reunion with her mother. Let's take a look. Thank you very much, everybody. We have a really special show for you today. Michelle thought she was on our show to make a plea to find her mom. Michelle wrote to our show because she has not seen her mother in 24 years. And I know you were a little apprehensive, Michelle, about coming today. Why?
Just scared.
What are you scared about?
Not knowing.
Not knowing of what?
Anything about her. Scared she's gone already.
Could be dead for all you know. Well, Michelle's mother was closer than she could imagine. Her mom, Kishna, was sitting in our audience watching Michelle tell her story from just a few feet away. Michelle had no memories of Kishna, but she searched the records trying to put bits and pieces together.
I had went and got a big thing from the Hall of Records that was all about the adoption case and the court case and all that. And when I was reading it, I had just got a cat. Me and my daughter went out and we got a little kitten. And I had picked out the name Missy. And I'd always liked the name. And come to find out in the court papers, it's what my mother used to call me when I was little.
Kishna listened to how much it would mean to Michelle to have her back in her life. Why don't you read a little bit of the letter you wrote us?
If you have ever wanted a mother's love or a hug from your mother, you'd understand why I need one. If for some reason you do help me and she wants to not meet my brother and I, could you please tell her one thing? Missy loves you with all your heart, and that will never change.
We could tell that Kishna wanted to run up and hug her daughter right then and there, but Missy still hadn't made her plea.
Why don't you just, just right out there to that camera, Michelle, and say what you want to say.
I just want to tell my mom that I love her and I need her.
Michelle, I understand exactly how you feel because I love my mom so very much, and I hope that everything works out for you.
Thank you.
That was a very sweet message from an audience member, but when the next audience member stood up, Michelle's life was changed forever.
Hi, Missy. I'm your mom.
Oh my God.
You okay?
I needed this hug forever. Me too, kid. Me too. I have missed you so much.
In just a few minutes, all of Michelle's wishes came true. Now, you hadn't seen your mom in 20 years. I'm sure from child to teenager to adult that you had thought about what it would be like if you ever had a chance to hug your mom. What was it like?
Oh, it was beautiful. When I'd hug my daughter, I wasn't sure if I was hugging her like a mother was supposed to. And after hugging my mom, I know that I can go home now and hug her the way my mom hugged me.
The great thing about this story with Michelle and her mom is it's not over. First of all, I want to tell you that your mom isn't here today because this has been a very emotional few days that you've spent together. And she wanted your mom wanted the rest of the reunion to be private, and we respect that, and that's what it's been. And there have been a lot of tears, I know, this weekend. But there is a big, big surprise coming up to this story. Because we also not only surprised Michelle with her mom, we surprised her mom because she meets Michelle's brother, a son that she had, that she thought died 20 years ago. You don't want to miss this. We'll be back in a moment. Now, when Michelle first contacted us to be reunited with her mom, she told us that she and her brother Rick had been looking for over 20 years for their mom. We found Mom, and she couldn't wait to be reunited with her daughter. But her mother went on to say that she had also had a son, Rick, who had been killed. So when my producers told me that she had a son who she thought was dead, I wanted to tell her, look, there was no way that I thought I should do this in front of an audience, that we knew that he was alive. It would have been the most difficult thing I would have ever done on this show, is to tell somebody on the air that we had found someone so close to her that she had thought died. So before the show started, I decided to talk to her privately, just to make sure that she would be all right. And here's how the day went. When I walked Kishna into the room, I knew the news I was about to share with her would be shocking. You know, one of the reasons why I wanted to meet with you privately was to talk about your daughter, because you're gonna surprise her and be reunited with her. First of all, how does that sound?
Great.
It does?
Yeah, I never thought I'd see her again.
Did you ever look for her before?
I tried to, but my health wouldn't permit too much of doing anything. And when you've got leukemia like I do, it gets really rough because you can't make enough money.
But
you come here to surprise. You want to see your
Oh,
daughter.
I want to see her so bad.
Is this your only child?
She's the only one that's alive from this husband, yes.
You said that there was another child?
Yes, and he got killed in the mess. And I got a long-distance phone call, and they said that he was at the bottom of the stairs dying.
How long ago was this?
A long time ago, back in the 70s.
Well, you know most of the reasons why you're here today. But
Yes.
one of the reasons why I wanted to talk to you is that we have found out that your son is not dead.
He isn't. You're serious?
Serious.
And he's all right?
Well, we don't know where he is. but
Because
we
they
know
told
he's-
me that if he survived, that he'd be brain dead and he'd be a vegetable. That's what they told me.
Your son is alive.
He is alive.
He's alive. And we have an investigator who we want you to meet with today on the set, on our show.
You're kidding.
And he's going to go help you find out where he is.
I'm flabbergasted because I thought he was dead all these years. How did you find that out?
We found out. We found out
Through
that
Missy?
we found out that he is not dead. That he is alive. And that we're going to make every attempt to find him. How's that make
Crying
you?
out loud, and she's got a brother.
How's that?
And I have my son back. Oh,
We have to
you
find him.
just don't know what that would mean to me.
Well, in a little while, we would find out. Because Rick came to the show with his sister, Michelle, to make a plea to find their mother. He had no idea we had already found her. As she stood backstage, he got the surprise of his life when we reunited Michelle with their mom, Kishna. When he heard the reunion, he burst into tears. He was only 3 years old when he was torn away from his mother, and he was shocked that he was about to meet her. Neither Rick nor Kishna had a clue that they would be brought together again.
Mom, we talked to you earlier today because it wasn't only Missy that you've missed all these years.
No.
It was a son. And you thought your son was dead.
Yes.
And I told you in our little private chat that because of Missy and other information, we know that he's alive and that we were going to take our Joe Culligan and his assistant. We're going to explain to you exactly hopefully where your son was, okay? So if we can have him, where's Joe? Is Joe or his assistant here? Where is he? Why doesn't he come out? Come on out. Okay.
Kishna thought Joe Culligan's assistant was coming on stage, but it took only seconds for her to realize that she was looking into her son Rick's eyes.
They told me that he'd been pushed down a flight of stairs in Maryland by he'd fallen down a flight of stairs, and that if he lived, he'd be a vegetable. And I thought he was dead all these years.
Boy, look at the
He
resemblance
looked
to
just
your
like your dad.
They were a family again.
If they didn't know I loved them, they're crazy.
Right. Well, they know it now.
Yeah, they sure do, don't they?
Wow. Sends chills up my back, Rick.
Yeah, it sure does.
How do you feel looking at that?
I'm feeling all right now. But
Wow.
it was pretty hard that day.
Were you mad at her all these years because she had never tried to contact you?
No, I wouldn't call it anger. Just wondering why, the constant
That
questions.
big question, why? Why? And that's what we get a lot. Why, Mom, didn't you try to contact us? Or why, Dad, didn't you try to contact us? And we get that a lot. So what was the last few days for you like?
It was incredible. It was, when you go through the day and you look at things all the time and things just pass by your eyes and you don't really record anything, you know, and you really have to look at something really hard to record it so that it's an everlasting memory. And it's been, what, 72 hours or whatever of nonstop recording,
Yeah.
just staring at features on a face or the skin. Or...
It was a grand, grand reunion, and I'm so happy that we were able to fit the missing pieces to your puzzle. And Michelle, thank you so much for getting in touch with us. If you don't write us, it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
I'd like to say one thing
Sure.
to the people that are watching the show right now. I'd like to just, I'm going to break down.
Just tell the mothers and the fathers that are out there that are even thinking about doing this to their kids. Unless they're dying and they have to do it, or they're broke and they just cannot take care of their kids, please think about it hard and don't do this.
Okay. When we come back, a young girl longs to find the mother who walked out of her life over 20 years ago. She wants to know why. She will find out when we come back.